Second Goal Standard Podcast. And today we want to get into our matchups. Pittsburgh Steelers position matchups against the Green Bay Packers. This is a game, I'm going to be honest. I have a leery feeling about this game. Everything points to the Steelers kind of winning this game just for the fact of this is Aaron Rodgers. His get I won't even really say get back, but just Aaron Rodgers going up against his old team. So Rodgers is going to give his best performance. The Steelers are coming off a terrible showing last Thursday night against the Cincinnati Bengals. They're home, and usually when the Steelers get embarrassed like that, they come back and play fairly well. But I don't know. I just got an eerie feeling about this game, and we'll get into the matchups. And honestly, when you look at it, I think the Steelers. Could you say they're a better team than Green Bay, talent-wise? Possibility. But when I kind of broke down the position breakdowns, it was kind of hard to pick. Pittsburgh matches up very well against this team, but the one thing that I think that may be the difference, and I hate to say it, man. I hate to say this, but I think it might come down to coaching. I just think it may come down to coaching, and unfortunately, I think Green Bay got better coaching. But with that said, let's get into it, and we'll see what's going on here. So, Week 8, Pittsburgh Steelers are 4-2. The Green Bay Packers is 4-1-1. They had that one tie game against the Cowboys. To be honest, the crazy thing about it is the Steelers are right where I had kind of picked them to be as far as record wise. They're pretty much right where I had the Steelers to be at. But you know how it go. Once the season starts, and you kind of start feeling like, hey, they could do better than what they're doing, and you get kind of caught up in they get a couple of wins and some games that you maybe thought that they would lose. They you end up saying that you think they can win them. So with that said, we'll kind of get into it. So the quarterbacks. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers played 18 years with the Green Bay Packers, won a Super Bowl, won a couple of MVP awards. Basically, his career is the Green Bay Packers. I'm quite sure when he goes into the Hall of Fame, he's going to go in as a Green Bay Packer. I wouldn't even say it really ended bad. Just a situation where, Green Bay drafted his successor, and they just, they got to a point where they felt like it was time for him to take over. And so it was kind of time to get rid of Rodgers. And Rodgers, obviously you don't like it, but he did the same thing when they drafted him and they he took over for Brett Favre. So, he know the deal with that. But with that said, I really think Rodgers is going to play good. I think he's going to. The only thing I hope he don't do is just overdo things and really try too hard and maybe do some things that he's just not capable of doing. But with that said, I'm going to give I'm gonna get an edge to Rodgers, even though Jordan Love is no joke. He really don't have his. I know Reed is out, so his targets are. I mean, he don't really have all the targets that he usually have, but he's a great player. He can move. I mean, he's not he's mobile. He's not really a guy that's gonna scramble a lot, but he will. He has the ability to get out the pocket and take off on you. I mean that he'll do that, but for the most part, he's trying to make his plays in the pocket. On the running back position, well, Jalen Warren, he probably had his to me, it's probably his best game of his career. And it should have even been more if the Steelers would have kept running the ball. But I'm just and this is another part where I just feel leery about this game. Yeah, the Steelers have ran the ball better the last couple of weeks. Green Bay defense is really not that tough. I mean, you can run the ball on them, but this is probably going to be the best defense they ain't played in a few weeks. I mean, even though the Browns were ranked number one, but you know what? Yeah, I mean the Browns is a good defense, but for some reason Cleveland didn't show up. They basically pulled a Pittsburgh game against Cincinnati, and they just didn't show up. But I think Green Bay is going to be fired up for this game also because they don't want to lose this game to Rodgers. And Josh Jacobs, he scares me, and he scares me just for the fact the Steelers defense haven't, for the most part, really haven't stopped the run. Everybody just ripped them apart. I don't know what the situation is, what's going on, why is this happening, but I'm at the point now. I'm at a wait and see. I can't, we always say, well, they're going to turn it around, this and that, but I'm at a wait and see with this defense. And with that said, I think, and this is another reason I feel leery about this game. I think this may be a big Jacobs game here. And so I'm gonna get an edge to Green Bay as far as the best running back because I just think this is gonna be a big game for Josh Jacobs, and hopefully I'm wrong, and I'll be happy if I am wrong. But like I say, this defense, I can't put no credit, no faith in this defense. I can only they have to show me at this point because all the little extra stuff they ain't built up, they ain't lost all that. They lost that with me as far as what they're doing. So we'll have to see. The wide receiver position, I think with Austin being back, like I say, I think Rodgers is going to really try to, push the ball down the field a little bit. Green Bay corners are not world beaters. On the other side, Green Bay kind of from the receiving position, they're kind of down a few guys. They just got Romeo Doubs, which the way our corners play, I don't know. I don't know who you could say could cover him because to me Porter is terrible in zone coverage. I don't think Slay or Ramsey can they can't cover guys one-on-one at this point. So just again, like I say, it's just a leery feeling, but I'm gonna get an edge to the Steelers because I think DK Metcalf and Austin should have a good game. The tight end situation, Kraft is actually there. He's actually Green Bay's leading receiver. Um, he makes big plays. He's huge after the catch. He's going to be a main target of Love, and he's going to be a factor in this game. I actually see him scoring a touchdown in this game. But the Steelers, that three-headed monster that they're going to have at the tight end position is going to work out again. I think it's going to work out again this week. They shouldn't have to. Well, maybe a little bit, but they should be able to use Washington on some routes a little more. He shouldn't have to stay in and block as much, except for probably some crucial situations where they want to make sure they keep Parson under control. But with that said, I give that to the Steelers. With Smith and Frymouth, they 3-against-1. I mean that's pretty easy to say. On the offensive line, again, Green Bay is just a weird team because even with their offensive line, it's not great. But I just feel like they scheme. They scheme a lot of their stuff, just like what the Steelers are basically doing with their offensive line. I don't know if the offensive line is really truly playing that much better. When you watch them individually block, Jones is still out there getting beat, but they've been able to scheme stuff a little better. I mean, so they know whenever they know that Jones is going to have a one-on-one block, they got Rodgers on the move. They got him going away from him. When they giving him help, he's getting his help. But if you really watch the film and watch him, guys still is getting by him. But like I say, I think the Steelers have figured something out with the extra linemen, and they're scheming some things a little better to help the offensive line. I mean, that's why the Steelers is like the worst team, like second to the worst team in throwing the ball down the field, because they're not. Because, they went to the short passing game because, they don't want Rodgers holding the ball. So they went to the short passing game. They're not really letting them, rip it down the field because, they're trying to protect the offensive line. But with that said, I'm gonna give it to the Steelers. I'm gonna give that upper hand to the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. So when you look at it, you look. So that's 4-1. And like I say, I still feel a little leery about this game. The defensive ends, edge. Well, you got TJ Watt, you got Highsmith, and you have Herbig. So again, you got that three-headed monsters where you think these guys should be able to do some damage. Like I say, Jordan Love, he's mobile, but he's a guy that kind of want to stay in the pocket and deliver the ball. So it'll be opportunities to get to him and sack him. On the other side, we have Michael Parsons. So with that said, I'm giving that to the Steelers on that one. The defensive tackles, again, I just don't know what's going on with the Steelers defensive line right now. But Green Bay, they defensive line, I mean, really their best defensive tackle, they actually traded him in the Parsons deal. So again, I'm giving that to the Steelers. Hopefully these guys can get their stuff together and truly work out what they need to work out, but we'll see. Linebackers, I like Walker. Walker's athletic. He make plays. pretty good in coverage. Not a big run stopper. Again, Patrick Queen and Wilson, they play depends on what our defensive line do. So I'm hoping the defensive line steps up and play better. But I'm gonna give that to Green Bay just for the fact I like Walker, and I just think he's gonna maybe have an opportunity to neutralize one of these tight ends. But it's gonna be so much coming at him. But we're gonna get that to the we're gonna get that to Green Bay. The corners, again, really to be honest, is about even. But I'll give the Steelers the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Porter can step up and do what he needs to do because, like I say, Green Bay from a receiver standpoint, they all their guys are hurt. Watson and Reed. So receiver wise, they don't really have a lot of guys out there that can challenge these corners. So the Steelers should win that. Safety. You got Xavier McKinney. I just think Elliott is going to be a neutralizer. And also, I think if the Steelers are to pull this game out, it's going to be because of Elliott, and he's going to help and stop this running game because I really think that's where, if this game goes awry, that's where it can go wrong in the running game. And I'm going to give that to Elliott because I just think Elliott's going to have a big game for the Steelers. Special teams, I mean, hey, Boz is Boz. And that's all I could really have to say about that. You know, the Boz going to do what he has to do. So I think if this comes down to a kicking situation, I see the Boz, taking care of his business there. And then coaching. This is my biggest problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think we have a coaching problem. I really do. I think we have a coaching problem. And I just think Green Bay as a staff, especially as an offensive staff, can out-coach the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive staff. And this is why I'm really leery about this game. And I'm going to give the check to Green Bay as far as the coaching. And then the end is all prediction time. And like I said, I'm very leery about this game, and I hope I'm wrong. And I'll happily be wrong. But I think Green Bay pulls this game out. 31-28. I think they pull this game out, and I think it's going to be another one of those situations where Rodgers is going to do everything he can. And I think the Steelers probably will even have the lead late, but I feel like Green Bay is going to go down for a winning kick or a winning touchdown. It's going to be something that the defense can't get a stop. And I think that's my feeling right now. That's my feeling. I think Green Bay comes in here and gets the upset. Vegas has the Steelers as a 3-point underdog. So, Vegas always knows when something ain't right and something's up. So, with that said, that's my feeling. So, we'll see how it go. But until then, give us a like, subscribe, and we will see you probably Sunday night. After the game, we're gonna do our 2-minute warning. Our 2-minute warning post game show. And I will, if I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong, but I don't have a good feeling about this game. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But until then, Take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.